Hey, gorgeous, welcome to this episode. In today's episode, I want to talk about your bullshit excuses. The excuses that is holding you back, the excuses that you say to yourself, you say to me sometimes, the excuses that you give to others, basically anything that is called excuses. Now, if I were to quickly ask you why you can't be rich, what would be the first thing that pops into your head? Because we all have them, right? We all have excuses about why we are the exception to the rule, why we are the only one that this won't work for. Now play along with me here. Because trust me, you have them. You'll be surprised about what you can discover. And when you have the awareness, you can clear it. Now, this is an exercise where you can write down or type it into your phone or just use a paper for this one. Now, write it at the top. You write this sentence, okay? I'm not allowed to be rich because... Okay, right at the top, I'm not allowed to be rich because... Then you write down as many things as possible. Again, your logical mind will say, of course I'm allowed to be rich, Janisha. Why am I not allowed to be rich? Okay, humor me, okay? Write down anything and everything that's possible because your excuses will be very profoundly interesting and some will definitely sound ridiculous. So as usual, it will be something for you to get started with and get going. So I remember I was in school. I had a friend who was very tall and very beautiful. And she used to tell me that people under a certain height would never ever be successful in certain careers. She basically meant anyone under 1.75 cm, which was conveniently her height. So I made up a story that I couldn't be reached because I'm too short, even though I'm 1.3 or 1.4 centimeters. 1.4 meters tall, and then she's the 1.75. So I couldn't be reached because I'm short and I'm shorter than her. Therefore, I cannot be reached. Which sounds ridiculous to me now because once I've cleared and released it, I won Miss Singapore. Ta-da! I represented Singapore in Japan. I represented Singapore in Malaysia for different pageants and different competitions. Plus, I forgave myself and even my friend for such a silly belief. Alright, so ask yourself why I am not allowed to be rich. Maybe because you are left-handed and you're creative and someone told you that artists never made any money, or left-handed people are too creative and terrible with money. Maybe you have a story about the color of your skin. Surprise! And what that means is that you are not good with it. And what that means, you cannot earn money or you cannot have breakthrough in your F word. Or maybe you have a huge story about who you are or your gender, that you are not good with numbers, that you are just meant to marry someone and just be a childbirth tool. Maybe you have a story about your accent and that you're only allowed to be successful if English was your first language. Right. So, maybe your favorite excuse is that you're not ready and that you need more certificates and qualifications. So you never do anything because you're always chasing after the next piece of paper instead of actually working with clients. Maybe you're single or maybe you're married, but you're using that as an excuse either way. Maybe you think you're too old or too thin, too young, not pretty enough, too fat, too introverted, too extroverted, or if you just change your whole personality type, then you're worthy of making money. Maybe you think that you need plastic surgery, and then if only you go through plastic surgery, you do your nose, you do your cheeks, you do your lips, whatever, and then you are worthy of making money. Maybe you are a single mom, single dad, and then you feel deep enough that it's not your turn to be rich because single parents are poor, right? That will help you. Then that will help your kids do it because it's all about them now, not your dreams. Or maybe you think that people with families have it easier. Maybe you think that your parents screw you up so much and it's totally their fault that you can't be rich. Maybe you think that nobody from your city or from your town or from your country can be rich, or nobody around you can be rich. Maybe you've got a million bullshit excuses, but that's all they are. You are just as worthy as anyone else. I have even more examples of bullshit excuses. Maybe I'll just give you another 5 more. Are you ready? 5 more? Okay. I'm not ambitious enough to be successful. I don't come from the right background. Nobody in my family is an entrepreneur. I have to work really hard for a really long time to be successful. If I'm not a millionaire by now, I should give up. Oh, I'm just too fat to do videos. I am too wrinkly with saggy skin to do any videos. Hey, English isn't even my first language. I don't even have the right zodiac sign or 八字 or even the right feng shui to be an entrepreneur. I feel like a fraud. Sometimes I think I'm too weird for people. Okay, so you can see that's a lot of excuses there. So the thing about money is that it's rarely about deserving. It's not like the most moral people in our planet have most money, is it? Wealthy people and rich people aren't perfect as well. You are just as worthy as anyone else. Spoiler alert, you are never going to be perfect even with more money. Okay? Really, because what comes down to this entire thing about setting up excuses is that we always think that we have to be perfect before we are allowed to show up in the world, to be visible, to make money. So I really need you to go and do this exercise about uncovering your bullshit excuses. And because when you recognize it, when you bring it up to your attention, you are aware of it, and that's when you can deal with it, you can clear it, and by saying it out loud will lessen its power over you. And then, of course, you need to forgive, you need to release, you need to let go. Some of your excuses will have been related to a money story from your past, so you need to release that, okay? So, for example, you can do some tapping and say these statements to affirm. If, for example, even though I don't look like a rich woman, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I was born in the wrong country, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I was born in the wrong family, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Say it out loud, even though when you hear it, it sounds super ridiculous. Because no matter what, there is probably someone else out there who has achieved amazing things in spite of all the bullshit excuses that you are using. And guess what? If you cannot find a role model, you be that role model. Go be that role model for someone else. You can be the inspirational figure, the inspirational person to break through someone else's mindset because you rise up, because you choose to be on this journey. I mean, you chance upon this audio program and you now are more aware, and because of that you can shatter and break your own self-belief, break your own bullshit stuff, and because you did it and because you start to do it, you can show other women in your situation that they can do it too. You can be an inspiration. Give yourself the permission to be rich, and you inspire others to do so too. You can be an inspirational person. You can really help others with your story, with your journey. And that is why you have to get a podcast. You have to launch your own podcast show, audio ones, just like me. You can have your audio courses, just like me. You can get on video. You can speak on stage and show up. Even if you think that you are not that kind right in the right state or the right kind of woman, or you should wait until you have lost weight. Hey, it has to be now, because other women need to see someone exactly like you. Be examples or find examples or just be the example. No more excuses. Lastly, I've got a challenge for you. After this exercise, straight after this, I want you to go to a mirror and look at yourself in the eye and say, this is what a rich woman looks like. This is what a soul rich woman looks like. Because together we are redefining what rich and wealthy looks like. Not just me, but you too. How you define a soul rich woman, how you define rich woman, how you define wealthy, being rich, right? So you are what a rich woman looks like. So no more excuses, my dear. This is your time and you are ready for the next step. Now, there are some questions that I have received from my students, okay, and I would like to address them in this episode as well. One of which is, but I really do have a valid excuse, Janisha. Now, okay, I get you. Find someone in the world who has done what you do. Find someone who have overcome the enormous odds to achieve what you want to do. If you can't find them, be the person for someone else. I mean, what's the alternative, right? That you give up and not achieve your dreams? That's not possible, because you can do it and I believe in you. Okay? The other question is, there are people suffering in the world. Why should I be rich? Then my question to you is, why shouldn't you be? Who do you help or who do you benefit by you being poor, broke, and stuck, even going round and round in circles? Who do you serve and who do you help by staying stuck? So really get clear on your goals, including your giving and philanthropy goals, so that you can have clarity on how much the world can benefit by you having more money. Another question I get is, Janisha, I'm worried that the money will change me. Haha, if you are a monster now, you'll be a bigger monster with more money. True or true? If you're a nice person now, having more money will only amplify who you truly are. So, my dear, don't worry about it. Plus, you can correct it if you find yourself becoming an angry, weird monster when you have more money. Okay, this can be changed, okay? So don't let this be an excuse. Money will only amplify who you are. So just tell yourself that you are deserving and it's safe for you to be rich. Another question that I got was, my friends and family won't like me anymore if I'm rich. Okay, I hear that quite a lot, especially when it comes to women charging premium prices for their business, for their products and service. Notice I talk a lot about charging premium prices, raising prices to charge what you're worth, because there's a lot of women who believe that if you become rich and you charge premium pricing, even though when you say you're helping people, you are a bad person, you are lousy, you are negative, right? So honestly, some of your friends and family will be triggered by your income. Let's face it. Because it's their income ceiling, right? That's their energy. And you are not bound by their energy. You are you. They are they. So you are not them. They are not you. So we just want to recognize that that's okay. Why hold yourself back just so other people can stay in their comfort zone? Listen closely. Why hold yourself back so that you fit into their mold and that they can stay in their comfort zone? The best news is that you can be an inspiring role model for even more people. And when you become rich, you make more money, you charge premium pricing, you can do more things, you can create more change, you can inspire more people. So don't let this excuse hold you back. All right? So a quick recap. Come, let's do the recap now. Okay, so step 1 is to complete this sentence. I'm not allowed to be rich because. Okay, so you need to come up as many excuses as possible. Okay, step number 2, okay, is to get tapping, release it through EFT on each excuse, which is emotion freedom technique. You can freestyle or try searching YouTube for an exact video on your situation. And like I said, get really specific. Okay, for example, even though I'm carrying extra weight and fat people like me can't be successful, I am deeply and completely loving and accepting myself. Even though I'm too short and not groomed enough to be successful, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm not perfect and I'm not ready yet, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And as you say it out loud, you might even hear it how ridiculous it sounds. Same thing, clear it, let it go. Okay? Step 3, give yourself permission. Now, this is where you need to give yourself permission to be rich or give yourself to be a soul rich woman. Then you will also inspire others to do the same. Stand up and show up and be the role model that you want to see in the world, because other women need to see someone exactly like you. Step 4, the mirror exercise. Go find a mirror, look yourself in the eye and say, this is what a rich woman looks like. This is what a soul rich woman looks like. We all come in all shapes and sizes. Rich women look like us. A rich woman looks like you. So do this daily and you realize that you are just as capable of making money as anyone else. Step 5. Go take action on something that you have been procrastinating on because you believed in your own bullshit excuses. For example, record your podcast, batch your podcast, record 10 episodes of your podcast, film a new video for your Facebook or for your TikTok or for whatever blogs that you are doing. Apply for a speaking gig. Apply to be a speaker on an event. Apply for an award. Nominate yourself for an award. Buy something that fits you now. Buy a bag that makes you feel like $1 million. Make your website live, even though if it's not perfect. Reach out to someone crazy and ask for an interview or guest post. Send an email about one of your offerings, even if it's not perfect yet. Charge premium pricing for your products and services, even though you feel like it's not perfect yet. So, give yourself the permission to be rich now, today, immediately, because this is your time and you are ready for your next step. All right, gorgeous. This is what I have for you today. And I hope that by discovering your bullshit excuses, this episode is going to radically transform your life. I love you so much and sending you my love, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.